I want to talk about is, what is hypnosis? When I was reading that script, what was happening? See, I had no idea what an induction was. I just read the script. Now, you will know a lot more about hypnosis than I did. Now, what is hypnosis? There are many, many, many understandings of hypnosis. Even though hypnosis has been studied by scientists for over 200 years now, it's still one of the 7 wonders of psychology. It really is one of the 7 wonders. Just as in the fable of the elephant touched in different places by the 4 blind men, it seems like each investigator, each scientist has a different theory on what hypnosis is. Now, we're going to go through some of those theories shortly, but let me point to you in this section, what is hypnosis? Now, this is in the National Guild of Hypnotists manual, and the first line is the one place where everybody agrees. The one thing everybody agrees on is the first line. Hypnosis refers to a state or a condition in which the subject becomes highly responsive to suggestions. Everyone agrees about that. Hypnosis increases suggestibility. In fact, in 1965, Ernest Hilgard did a research study, and he found out, and this is from the Handbook of Clinical Hypnosis, page 4, most people are more responsive to suggestion after an induction than they were before. Now that's significant. You think, well, of course they are. No, no, no. Many people would argue these people would have responded to that suggestion anyway. Hilgard showed in his research people are more responsive to suggestion after a hypnotic induction than they were before. That's significant. Now, there are lots and lots of definitions of hypnosis. Now, in the Handbook of Clinical Hypnosis, and this is a book that covers many potential treatments by psychologists, by social workers, by clinical professionals on how to deal with different things hypnosis. Here is the definition. Hypnosis is a situation or set of procedures in which a person designated as the hypnotist suggests that another person designated as the patient or client or subject experience various changes in sensation, perception, cognition, or control over motor behavior. It is useful to think of these suggestions as being divided into 2 phases: induction and application. Although in practice they may not be entirely distinct. Some responsive subjects report that hypnotic induction produces an altered state that is much different than the normal waking consciousness. But most subjects describe it as a normal state of focused attention. Now, if you look back at the National Guild definition, the second line, the hypnotized individual seems to follow instructions in an uncritical, automatic fashion and attends closely only to those aspects of the environment made relevant by the hypnotist. If the client is profoundly responsive, he or she hears, sees, feels, smells, and tastes in accordance with the suggestions given, even though they may be in direct contradiction to the actual stimuli that impinge upon the subject. Now, some people will argue that these people might be faking it or they're just doing it to please the hypnotist. However, in research at Harvard University, if I can pull this out, by Dr. David Spiegel, who's from Stanford University, the medical school, and also by Dr. Stephen Kossel, professor of psychology at Harvard, they did an amazing little study with a PET scan. Now, PET scan is a positron emission tomography. That's what a PET scanner is. They hypnotized 8 people. They monitored their brains with the PET scan. Now what they did was they showed them objects that were brightly colored. Different parts of the brain would light up on the PET scan. Then they showed them objects that were basically black and white. Black and white. Different parts of the brain would light up on the PET scan. Then they hypnotized these people. Okay? And they showed them the same objects. However, in hypnosis, when they showed them the colored objects, they told them they were black and white. But the part of the brains that would light up on the PET scan was only the part that would light up on black and white, even though the actual objects were color. Then, when they showed them the black and white objects, they told them through hypnosis that they were brightly colored, and the parts of the brain that light up when they saw objects that are brightly colored lit up, which is very, very convincing proof that actual changes in the brain occur via hypnotic suggestion. And that it affirms what many, many people will tell you about hypnosis. The difference between imagination and hypnosis is when you imagine it, you know you're imagining it. In hypnosis, you experience it as being real. Very real. And in this case, we see that by the parts of the brain that lit up on the PET scan, it was just like it was real, right? Now, that was a wonderful experiment conducted to kind of prove that there is something going on in hypnosis beyond just people going along with it. Do you see what I mean? Because like when people see hypnosis, they wonder, is this person really, are they really, you know? Well, there may be somebody who's faking it, but that's not the majority of people. Or else, why would people do it?